Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't condition the world to see your value, the world will condition you to forget it. There was once a time in my own life, as in the lives of many men and women with a burning desire for success, where I found myself waiting to be chosen, waiting for approval, for validation, for someone to see my worth. But the truth I uncovered, the truth I now share with you, is this: luxury never begs for attention. It commands it. The world does not crown the worthy. It crowns the perceived. And how do you shape perception? Through action, belief, and presence. Let me walk you through 9 unshakable keys that will cause the world to stop seeing you as an option and begin to revere you as a luxury. Key G1, know your worth and never negotiate it. When you deeply know your value, you stop offering discounts on your dignity. I once mentored a young man who was underpaid and overworked. He told me, "Mr. Hill, I want to be respected." I said, "Then stop showing up like you're replaceable. Respect starts with self-respect." Key 2, speak with purpose or not at all. Luxury speaks in silence more than noise. Do not fill the air with empty words. Say what matters. Say it well. Then watch how people begin leaning to hear you. Because value does not shout, it radiates. Key 3, dress, walk, and move like you belong. Because you do. You don't wear luxury. You embody it. When you walk into a room, let your posture say, "I don't chase, I attract." Whether you wear silk or simplicity, do it with elegance and clarity of purpose. Key 4, master your craft until it becomes art. People pay more for mastery than mediocrity. Be the best at what you do, or don't do it. Study while they sleep. Practice while they play, and show up polished while they arrive unprepared. Key 5, make your time expensive. If you are always available, you are taken for granted. Scarcity is the silent salesperson of value. Be present but not predictable. Let your time be felt as a gift, not a guarantee. Key 6, associate with excellence. You cannot look like a diamond while sitting among coal. Who you associate with either elevates your value or erodes it. Walk with giants, and soon they will call you one of their own. Key 70, master the art of emotional control. Luxury is calm under pressure. Do not react, respond. In the face of criticism, breathe. In the face of praise, remain grounded. Your ability to remain unshaken reveals your strength. Key 80, set standards higher than expectations. Don't live to please, live to lead. Set a code for your life and do not break it, even in silence. People remember the one who never wavered when it would have been easier to compromise. Key 9, walk away when they don't see it. Never beg to be valued. If your light blinds them, don't dim it. Leave the room. The moment you walk away from what doesn't honor you, you make space for what will. Now let me leave you with this final thought. You were not born to be someone's second choice, someone's backup plan, someone's temporary escape. You were born to stand out, to inspire, and to lead. And the first step to making them see you as a luxury is to finally start seeing yourself that way. Don't wait to be recognized. Walk into the world with such certainty, such fire, such value, that they can't help but stop and stare. Because true luxury doesn't chase. It attracts. I have learned through the experience of life and the observation of hundreds of successful men and women that the world will offer you precisely what you believe you are worthy of, no more, no less. When a man steps into the world unsure of his own value, the world does not rush to correct him. It confirms his doubt. It rewards hesitation with rejection, and it offers peanuts to the man who believes he deserves them. You must know your worth so thoroughly that no circumstance, no person, and no failure can make you question it. I recall a story of a woman I met during a lecture series in Philadelphia. She was brilliant, full of vision, talent, and integrity. Yet she told me, "Mr. Hill, every job I take, they underpay me. Every relationship I enter, I'm taken for granted." And I said to her, "My dear, they are simply following the price tag you've placed upon yourself. You wear the label clearance when you ought to wear the crown of a limited edition. You see, the invisible law of life is this: you train others how to treat by what you tolerate. If you accept crumbs, don't be surprised when you are never invited to the feast. To know your worth is not arrogance. It is awareness. It is the boldness to say, I may not be where I want to be yet, but I carry the seed of greatness, and I will not shrink to fit into small minds or small offers. This inner certainty, this unshakable belief in your own value is magnetic. Yet it doesn't just influence people. It commands their respect. Think of the great inventors, artists, and leaders of history. They were not handed greatness. They demanded of themselves, and the world eventually agreed. But that demand did not begin in boardrooms or public speeches. It began in the quiet moments in the mirror when they said, "I am worth more, and I will no longer apologize for it." To know your worth is to stop entertaining what insults your soul. It is to stop proving your value and start living it. When you reach this place, you won't need to say a word. Your very presence will become a declaration, heaven before you, and once you've recognized your true worth, never ever negotiate it. There is an invisible currency far more valuable than money, more powerful than influence, and more permanent than reputation, and that is the power of your words. But like any currency, its value depends on how it's spent. Let me tell you something I have learned from years of study, failure, observation, and success. The individual who speaks with intention shapes the minds of others. The one who speaks without it only reveals his own confusion. Many men and women I've met over the years have fallen into the habit of speaking simply to fill the silence. They talk and talk and talk, hoping that somewhere, amidst the noise, their value will be noticed. But the truth is quite the opposite. The more you say without purpose, the more you dilute your presence. I once had a meeting with a very wealthy businessman in Chicago. He said to me, "Napoleon, I can tell within 30 seconds whether a man will be valuable to my business, not by his handshake, not by his resume, but by how he speaks." I asked him, "What do you listen for?" He replied, "I listen for weight. If every word he says carries weight, I know I'm in the presence of someone who understands value." Or you see, when you speak with purpose, you train others to listen closely. You become a person whose voice holds gravity. People begin to lean in, not because you demand their attention, but because you earn it through your precision, your poise, and your power. Think of the most influential leaders the world has known. Did they ramble? Did they fill space with endless chatter? No, their words were few, but they struck like lightning. When Lincoln said, "Government of the people, by the people, for the people," he didn't need to say it twice. His words lived on because they were chosen, not scattered. A luxury is never loud. It is selective. A luxury doesn't cry out for validation. It is noticed in silence. You must understand this. Your voice is an instrument, not a drum to beat for attention. When you speak, speak with clarity, speak with direction, speak with energy rooted in purpose, not performance. A person who commands a room is not always the loudest, but the one whose words linger long after they've left. So I challenge you, before you speak, ask yourself, is this necessary? Is it intentional? Will it elevate, inform, or transform? If not, preserve your power, because when you learn to speak with purpose, or not at all, your words will become scarce, and therefore sacred. Before a single word escapes your lips, before anyone hears your ideas, your brilliance, or your ambition, the world sees you. And whether you like it or not, the world forms its opinion in seconds. And here lies a secret. How you present yourself is not vanity. It is strategy. Your appearance, your posture, your very presence is a form of silent persuasion, and it whispers into every room before your voice ever does. I once visited a great industrialist in New York, a man who had built an empire from ashes. I asked him how he identified potential leaders. He said, "I watch how they enter the room. If they walk in like they've already earned the table, I know they're worth listening to." You see, this is not about arrogance. This is about alignment. When you believe that you are valuable, you will look it. You will walk it. You will radiate it. You will move through the world with ease of someone who knows they belong, and others will adjust accordingly. Now, let me be clear, this is not about expensive suits or brand names. You could be wearing simplicity, but if it's clean, intentional, and worn with pride, you will still appear as a man or woman of distinction. Every wrinkle ironed, every shoe polished, every detail attended to. It sends a message, I respect myself. Therefore, you will respect me. The way you carry yourself is not just a habit. It is a declaration of self-image. And when you walk, do so with certainty. Actually get. No shrinking. No head down in doubt. Lift your chin. Roll your shoulders back. Let your stride reflect your inner vision. Move as if the path ahead was made for your feet, and others will begin to believe it was. I remember coaching a young entrepreneur who had brilliant ideas. But he would enter every meeting looking as though he had stumbled in from the street. I said, "You're asking millionaires to believe in your future, but your posture tells them you don't even believe in your present." Within weeks of adjusting his presence, he didn't just gain attention. He earned investment. Never forget, before you are seen as a luxury, you must show the world what luxury looks like. Through how you speak, how you stand, and how you show up. Because the world doesn't remember the invisible. It remembers the intentional. People will forget what you wore, yes, but they will never forget how you wore it. The man who is truly irreplaceable is not the loudest, nor the most charming. He is the one who has taken his God-given gift and through focused, relentless effort, transformed it into something that borders on the divine. Skill may get you noticed, but mastery is what makes you unforgettable. It is not enough to be good. The world is full of good. There are good singers, good speakers, good workers, but good is everywhere, and everywhere is cheap. You must become exceptional. You must hone yourself like a blade until your work cuts through the noise of mediocrity. I once spoke with a watchmaker in Switzerland, a humble man, quiet, with hands weathered by time. I asked him what made his timepieces worth thousands of dollars. He said, "I adjust the gear by a hair's width that no one else will notice. But I notice, and those who understand precision, they notice too. That is the essence of luxury, the invisible excellence behind the visible result. It is the detail that others overlook, the repetition that others abandon, the standards that others never set. There is a force that moves through a person who has mastered their craft. You can see it in their eyes, you can hear it in their tone, you can feel it in their presence. It is not arrogance, it is authority. The authority that comes not from title, but from toil, from years of discipline when no one was watching. Success does not reward the man who merely tries. It rewards the man who perfects. The man who studies while others sleep, who sharpens his edge in silence, who trains in obscurity until his very existence commands attention. Think of Da Vinci, Edison, Carnegie. Their genius did not explode. It was chiseled, piece by piece, hour by hour, until their craft rose beyond function and became form. That is what you must aim for, not just to do a job, but to turn that job into something no one else can do quite like you. Your excellence must be so distinct, so refined, so complete, that when others encounter your work, they do not just say, "That's good." They say, "That must be him. That must be her," because it carries your signature, not in ink, but in impact. Do not aim to be better. Aim to be the only. When your craft reaches the level of art, people won't just want your product, they'll want your presence. They won't just see your value, they'll feel it. Time, my friend, is the rarest currency you own. And yet, it is the one too many spend as if it were infinite. Let me impress this truth upon your mind. When your time is cheap, you are seen as cheap. But when your time is precious, you become precious. You must train others through your actions, not your words, to understand that your time is not up for constant access, not freely available, not a common commodity. It is earned, it is respected, and above all, it is guarded. I remember a young man who once came to me frustrated, or Mr. Hill. He said, "I'm always available to help. I never say no. I respond to every request, yet people still overlook me." I told him, "That's exactly why they overlook you. You've made yourself convenient. And convenience, while useful, is never revered. No one values what they can summon on demand. Scarcity creates curiosity. Scarcity creates value. You've seen it yourself. Why do people line up to enter an exclusive club or pay more for a limited edition product? Because access is controlled, it is not found in abundance. The same must be true of you. There is a fatal error many committed souls make in their pursuit of significance. They confuse being available with being valuable. But those are not the same. A rare diamond is not displayed in a vending machine. It is secured, protected, admired from behind glass, and its worth is not questioned. The moment you begin to respect your own time, the world will mirror it back to you. Don't be so quick to say yes. Don't fill your calendar with people who only drain you. Don't respond to every message within seconds as though you are waiting for their approval. Instead, move on your time. Respond when it aligns with your mission. Be present, but not always present. Accessible, but not always accessible. Understand this: when people must earn your attention, they value your attention. When people wait for your presence, they appreciate your presence. You train them through your boundaries to see you as a luxury, not a lifeline. Even the most precious metals, gold, platinum, derive their value not just from beauty, but from rarity. You too must be rare. Let your attention be deliberate. Let your meetings be meaningful. Let your time be expensive, because when your time has value, your entire life gains gravity.